This episode of the Date Podcast is sponsored by Bopsy. Meet up to 6 people over mobile video. It's video speed dating. Download Bopsy in the Google Play Store or iTunes. Check out bopsy.com.
We know you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. I understand I'm both an LPC and an LMFT. However, this is not intended as a substitute for professional services of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services. Hi, everyone. This is Emma.
And Zorric.
Host of the Date Podcast.
Yeah.
We are super excited to have a show for you guys today.
Yes, we are.
We have these wonderful guests here with us.
Okay.
Zorric, do you know them at all?
Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe,
We've all, except for one person, have slept together.
Oh my.
Yeah, we have.
My life.
Oh my. Well, we have this beautiful Troupe, our special guest from Squishin Impossible.
We're called Squishin Impossible.
Squishin Impossible.
Yeah.
Is that not what I said? Or did I say squishing?
Oh, is it squishing or squishin?
It says squishin with like an exclamation. I tried. Okay, I tried.
Okay. And then after that, what happens?
So I'm going to introduce everyone right now. So we have Krystal.
Okay.
Say hi.
Hi.
Kelsey.
Hello.
Carl.
Hey.
And Steven.
Hey.
So.
We're here.
Yeah. We're all here.
here.
We're all here to
Excited to be
discuss
here.
relationships.
Yes, we're gonna talk. Yeah, we're gonna talk about relationships. We're gonna talk about like Zorric.
Yes.
This has happened to us before.
How many times?
Oh my gosh,
So many
right?
times.
Like all of a sudden, like you're moving on. You're like, I'm dating someone new, and then dun dun dun, the creeper ex.
Fuck.
Well, not really creeper ex,
I
but
hate
like
that
the
shit.
ex comes back, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like for women, like me being single, like the moment that I start moving on, I always get like, it's like the guys that I dated, like get it like a radar. They're like, I'm single again, or something's going really well, and they're like, let me text Emma, and it's like, no, what are you doing? Stop. Does that happen to you?
It's happened to everybody. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for validating me.
You're welcome. So we're going to talk about exes. Is
Yes,
that what
we're going to talk about
what you're alluding
exes
to?
that live
Okay.
in Texas.
Nice. Okay. But first, guys and gals, you can find us on iTunes and Google Play or wherever you get your podcasts. If you like us, please subscribe and review to the podcast. And if you would like to send us an email regarding anything, questions, we've been getting a lot of great questions from everyone. Send us a question or just a, hey, how's it going? And you can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at Date Podcast. At Date Podcast. Isn't that weird to say?
You always mess that up.
That's my life.
Can you stop being a failure?
Okay, I will. All right, Emma. So what's happening today?
You guys. This always gives me anxiety. God, like my anxiety just like riles
Okay.
up. And then with this too, like it's like up and then it like can't come down because it's like, oh, stay high. Anyway.
Would you like some Coke? Just
No,
kidding. Go ahead.
Zorric. What's wrong with you?
Coca-Cola.
Why? God. Okay, so let's talk about Henry Cavill. Do y'all know who that is?
No.
Oh, the
What?
Superman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ladies,
No.
he's this beautiful piece of like man meat who is Superman. He was in the Tudors. Like he's just beautiful little God's British gift. Oh my gosh. I love him so much.
Okay, what about him? What happened?
So it turns out that like it's rumored out there that he may not play Batman anymore, you guys.
Superman.
Yeah, that he's done playing Superman. And I'm like, okay, so DC just came out with that whole Justice League thing. Like, what do you mean, Henry Cavill, you're not going to play Superman anymore? I'm really upset because I only watch those Superman movies for him and Jason Momoa, or like just like, who cares about Ben Affleck? I don't.
Yeah.
What do y'all feel about that? I'm really upset about it. I don't think y'all care, but that's fine.
Carl, what do you think?
I feel like I had heard about that because he didn't want to be typecast as Superman, and then he'd be Superman, nothing but Superman for the rest of his career.
But you're Superman. Like that is the role. I mean,
I gotta
Steven,
agree.
right?
Yeah, I just feel like actors are always trying to do this thing where they go like classical, and he's not like Meryl Streep. He's Superman.
No,
but, yeah.
no. You take that back, sir, because he was on the Tudors. He did classical really well.
Okay.
I didn't watch it for the King. I watched it for him.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. He's like spoiled with the Superman gig, and I was like, no, I want to do my drama stuff. I want to get to my roots. Just enjoy being Superman.
Exactly. Like, what's his face is like Magneto and is a beautiful like Shakespearean actor. What's Magneto's name? He's a sir.
Ian McKellen.
Thank you, Sir Ian McKellen. Like, he does a little bit of both. Like, he's able to do that too. Just like be patient. I'm like, give me shirtless and to give me British. That's all I want in life.
That's so
I'm
hot.
saying give me some Jude Law. Like, that's the only guy I know.
Oh my gosh.
So hot.
Crimes of Grindelwald is like,
Forget about it.
yes.
This Krystal, do you listen to or watch any of this stuff?
I don't know these people, but I like James Marsden.
James Mraz.
Okay,
No.
James Marsden.
James Marsden. Excuse you.
And he did like X-Men and more
Yes.
traditional
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And was on Hairspray too. Let's give him the credit. You know, he was in The Notebook too.
He's versatile.
Exactly. And I think Henry Cavill can get to that point. He just needs to be a little patient with it. Just ride the Superman roller coaster a little bit longer, you know?
Does he make you hot though? I
I
mean,
just love him so much.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh.
like,
what would you do to him?
so many things.
Lock him
Yeah.
in a bedroom.
Oh no. Would you discover his taint?
Let's just say, what is that?
Did it.
Anyways, I was about to say before Zorric was like crude about something,
Oh.
I would let him break a lot of my first rules that I have. Just putting it out there.
Mm.
Henry Cavill, if you're out there and you're single and you want a beautiful, like, Hispanic, like, short, fiery thing, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
All right.
I hate you so much. You know what? Every time that you play that sound, they get to drink. So y'all take a drink now. Take a drink.
Yeah.
Oh guys, so much pressure. I want to press it every time.
Bring it.
All right, so Emma, we
Yes.
have so many people here today.
We do.
That I personally love. I love every one of you guys.
We love you, Zorric.
And yeah, we've done a lot together. Like I said, we've almost all of us have slept together.
Yeah.
And
Weird.
It's so weird.
I'm going to take a drink on that one now. Okay.
But
Line.
A lot of taint action.
I don't know what that means. I might look it up later, and I might be disgusted.
yeah, but so we all met at the Dallas Comedy House, right? Right, Kelsey. Like, what happened? Like, how did we meet?
Well, we all signed up for level 1 unknowingly, just a couple of, innocent new Dallas people or people who've lived here with no friends, and we met each other and, we formed a bond eventually. It wasn't right
Yeah.
off the bat. Some of us were trying to...
Give me the drama. Like, how much drama was there? Who hated who?
Oh,
Who wanted to stab who? Like, give me everything right now.
Well, I'll just start off by saying my personal story, I was new to Dallas and I had no friends, and I just wanted to meet someone, and he can't be here with us today, but a friend of ours who moved away to New York City was sitting next to me, and he was wearing a pair of socks, and I just look over and I'm like, nice socks. And then he just looked at me, was like, why are you talking to me?
Oh.
And I just thought, well, we'll never be friends.
Did you tell him that story?
Oh yeah, we talk about that
Oh,
all
beautiful.
the time.
Love that you're
'Cause we're
calling him
all
out.
friends now. Yeah.
So,
I think he was just intimidated by me, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kelsey, where are you from? Are you single, married, dating? Like, what's your story?
Yeah, so I'm a Florida native.
Ooh.
Go Sunshine State. Basically lived off orange juice for most of my childhood, and then
Was that with champagne or without champagne? Because that makes a difference.
Yes.
both.
Okay.
I like my orange juice on the side and my champagne on the other side.
Perfect.
Nice.
So moved to Dallas. I am married, so I have a husband. He
Oh,
also
okay.
lives
So you can
here.
give us a great married person perspective
I
on
can.
things.
I've been
Love
married
it.
for almost 2 years. So
2
I'm
years,
basically an
wow.
expert.
You
As
are.
long as I have married friends that are very helpful when they say this, but I take it very negatively, and I know this, I'm aware of this, and I've told them to stop it. that they're like, if I were to be single now, it'd be so difficult. And it's like, thanks. You're just validating how much it sucks to be single, and I don't appreciate that.
You know, I get what you're saying.
Yes.
I've heard and have said those very words, so I do get it.
Yes. Cool.
So, Kelsey, do you like it nutty, chunky, or smooth?
Oh, my word.
You got to pick one.
I like smooth and I like Jif. So
Thank you.
choosing mothers choose Jif.
Is there
Nice.
a difference between nutty and chunky?
There is.
Is that
like,
a new type
Yeah,
nutty
it's like the
peanut
whole
butter?
like peanut versus just like maybe the peanut is like has gone through
Chopped
the
up.
the
Okay.
blender. Mm-hmm.
That's news to me.
I'm glad that you. Thank you. Oh,
Well-
my word, y'all.
well, thanks for being here, Kelsey.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So, Carl,
Yes,
what
Carl.
do you love most about improv?
Just, playing pretend with your
Yeah.
friends and being silly all the time.
Gotcha.
That's one of my favorite things.
Okay.
Is that ever different from real life for you?
It is. Yes. It is very different. If I could be silly all the time, I totally would. But no, I've got to be serious at work and this.
Yeah.
That's always a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the audience who doesn't know Carl's a superstar at improv.
Ooh.
But where did you? Where were you reared and born and like where? Like tell me.
I don't think I've ever been reared before, but I was actually born in Florida.
Okay.
Oh, so we got 2 Florida people that
Yeah.
decided to
Oh,
come
Florida.
to Texas. Nice. 2 so far.
I lived there a very brief amount of time, moved around a bunch, grew up mostly in New Jersey, and then moved around a bunch, and now I'm here.
Gotcha. So are you dating? Are you married?
I am dating. I'm
Okay.
dating someone right now.
Oh.
And it's like, it's going well. It's going very well. It's in that
Okay.
like 3-month neighborhood.
What's the rule, Emma, about 3 months?
I think that's when you can start asking each other to start deleting your Bumble like app dating profiles.
Yeah, and you can you
Yeah.
can kiss by then, right?
Okay, Zorric, I'm
hold
not
hands
such a
sometimes.
prude. Okay, like drop it.
Okay. So Carl can give us like the dating
Yes,
exclusive
like being
perspective.
like exclusive perspective, like just cut off
Don't say
dating
that
app.
word. Don't say that word yet.
Okay.
Oh, obviously there's something that we need to uncover here. We'll
Emma,
touch on it later.
Start doing your therapy. All right,
Oh,
Carl.
I will. Oh, I will.
Kidding.
I've had plenty of wine at this point.
All right, Krystal. I know you're a Dallas native, I think.
One could say.
Yes.
What would you say instead?
Yeah. Do tell.
Well, I was born in Houston and moved around a bunch.
I did not know that you were born in Houston.
I
Okay.
lived there for 2 months, so
Oh, okay. It doesn't count.
no.
No, Houston's the armpit of America.
Yes, thank you.
I hate that it's on my birth certificate.
That's what they call New Jersey, though. Armpits of
Everybody has a
America.
drink.
You
Everybody
know
has a drink. He made my noise.
So,
You're welcome.
Krystal. So, what's your story? Are you? So, what's your story?
Are you single? Are you
Yeah.
dating? Are you exclusive? What's going on, Krystal?
Oh, I would say exclusive.
Oh, like what does that mean to you? Like you can still like bang other people,
Oh no.
Like Zorric.
or do you guys?
You only hold hands with one person.
I hold hands with multiple people.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh.
One of them being my best friend Tanya.
It's 2018.
Another one being
So is it like exclusive but like a little open?
Monogamish.
I'm in a 4-year relationship.
Wow, 4 years.
Oh.
So that's super serious. Do you guys?
Started in college. It's pretty serious.
Do you
I would
guys-
say.
Undergrad or grad?
Undergrad.
Okay.
Do you guys live together or?
We live together.
do
This is
that?
our second apartment.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's getting
Wow.
talks about rings.
Whoa.
What? I am loving this. So I'm a little envious, and it's okay. It's the wine talking, and I'm also very excited for you.
So
Well,
what
thank
kind of
you.
ring are you talking about here? Is it
Give me the 4 C's.
Yes.
I don't know all the 4 C's, but I can tell you it is a single stone with some type of thing going around it. Yep, that's what
Okay.
I've got.
Okay.
Okay.
Wedding talk.
Wedding top.
Wedding talk. So you know where you're gonna have your wedding and.
Oh, that's already all determined.
Are you traditional in
This
the
is
sense that
news.
you want him to ask like your dad for permission?
Yes, but I like my dad, so it's all good. They get along really well.
Okay,
Okay.
so like there's probably like the talk has already happened.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, maybe you don't know the talk has happened.
Oh,
It could have possibly have happened though. Like
No,
if the
Krystal
ring is
knows.
yeah, if no, I don't think so. I think that sometimes like the engagement talk is very sacred between the father and the fiance.
I can
fair.
So-
personally speak to this, and I can say yes, it is.
Oh.
Because my husband asked my dad, and he was super nervous, and he was waiting for the right time to do it, and multiple times had passed, and then it was finally just like, here's a ring. What do you think about this?
Oh.
So it's probably has happened and you just don't even know it. And it's better not to know because then you'll be surprised. Surprise.
So, okay, so Krystal can give us a perspective of like a long-term relationship, almost
Yappers.
marriage, but getting there.
Getting there.
Getting there. Okay, last but not least, Steven.
Hey.
Hi.
Are you scared, Steven? I feel like you're a little scared right now.
So
It's
Steven-
okay. Take a little deep
Yeah,
breath.
there's lots of drinking here.
Yeah. But Steven he's from Dallas too. You're from Dallas, right, Steven? Like,
Yeah.
what's your story? Like you.
He's from Dallas. He's almost 21. He's scared about the drink.
Carl, you cannot do this to us.
I am a Dallasite, a young Dallasite, and I'm a lawyer and writer.
Practices the law.
I practice the law here.
Are you like the
in Dallas.
Texas Hammer?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Hammer or hammered, but
Either. It's all good.
yeah, and we grew up here in Dallas. Lived in St. Louis for a while, but moved back here about 5 years ago.
Because Texas
Okay.
is the best, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Hook 'em, but
Hook 'em
That's
horns.
right.
So, Steven, single, right?
yeah, I am
Or married?
single. No, I am single.
Sorry, I
Like,
just assumed, but I didn't ask you. Because something could have changed since then, but okay.
So the three of us sitting next to each other
Yes.
are
This is
single,
the single
and
table.
then
Single-
so it's
the
like
single side.
divided, you guys. Like I wish you could see it. Like it's divided, like half and half. Like they're the others, and then there's us, the cool people.
Yeah, we're all single as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
SAF over here.
Okay, so Steven, would you rather be attractive, rich, or famous?
Is it like perpetually attractive? Like,
No, you can't. Just blanket statement.
okay, famous.
Famous. Okay.
Influence.
What
right?
makes you okay? So I was
Yeah.
gonna ask the why influence.
No, but we all talk about the Enneagram. And
Yes.
we are all
Oh,
threes.
you know about the Enneagram too? Who's
We're
the
all
three?
threes.
Three.
What up?
Carl's a peacemaker.
Oh, so everyone here's a three. Beautiful, you guys. Like, we will rule this world soon.
Yeah.
And then we're going to kill people like Carl.
But he's just making
peace.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's a
Because
peaceful
we're
guy.
like, now it's all about appearance and about making sure it's following the rules.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Carl.
That's
In my
Okay.
post-apocalyptic
It's fine.
world, you wouldn't survive.
I'm chill with it.
I mean, we're about to get into it later, so too, with other things.
lots of things.
Lots of
All the
things.
things. Okay, so we're here to talk about dating.
Yes.
Our listeners would love to hear all of y'all's perspective on things. Like, for example, this is for like the group. You know, what's like the weirdest way you've asked somebody out or someone has asked you out?
Yes.
Because we love How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
And there's one episode where Barney,
Uh-huh.
where who is it? Lily
It's
asked
Lily
Barney.
challenges Barney.
Yeah, tell us.
Challenges Barney. Challenges Barney. That he has to wear a plastic trash bag over what he's wearing, and can't use the letter E.
When he's talking to the lady.
He's like, "What do I call you?"
Because he can't say name. Right?
He's like, and he has his cell phone, and he's like, digits. Right?
Yeah. As you, show a phone.
Which I think that one day I should do this with you.
That would
I need
be
to
fun.
challenge you like this.
Yeah. I mean, it's just more rejection. That's all, you know.
Love it. Love every minute of it.
You do, so-
I'll have wine for you. It's fine.
Yeah, I think. I guess the way I ask people out is just through dating apps, but I've also asked somebody out, which is kind of different to me, through Instagram. You know what they say, slide
Uh-huh.
into the DMs, and we actually like dated for a little bit, but that's like the weirdest way.
Oh, I remember that person.
Oh, do you?
Uh huh.
Okay. It's the runner. You guys remember the runner?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah. She literally ran away from me, but it's,
Yep.
it's okay.
And I think that what we're about to talk about later is perfect for
Yeah,
that.
it is perfect for that. So, like, Kelsey or Carl, you have any like weird ways?
I definitely do.
Ooh, I love
oh.
it. Give me the
So-
drama.
So before I got married, when I was dating, wasn't the best at dating, but I gave it a whirl.
Well,
so.
why do you say that? Like, what? Because I hear people say that all the time. They're like, "Oh no, I'm not so good at it. I hate it." Or
In high school, no one was really interested in me. I think I've heard the term late bloomer a lot, and I definitely would describe myself in that way. I just had a hard time getting guys to notice me, but for some reason I was really just focused on it. Like I really wanted to be noticed. So
What do you feel like it was probably like an influence of your friends? Because I know like high school, it becomes very like important that we are either in relationships because like our peers are also engaging in this.
oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So I was in the band, typical band nerd, but a lot of the other friends that I hung out with were not in the band. They were kind of cool, and I was sort of in multiple groups. Like I was a floater, and the cool people always had like the fun times and the parties, and I never had that. And so
Or at least perceived.
exactly. So when I graduated from college, like I had a relationship in college, but then I went to Kazakhstan, and
Oh.
in Kazakhstan,
What?
everything is different. It is a very different country, obviously.
Can I get the background on that, please?
Just graduated from college, actually had a long-term boyfriend in college, and I thought we were going to go in one direction, like the next step of the relationship. And he was like, I'm going to South Korea and you're not allowed
Whoa.
to come.
Ooh, so you did a master of none.
Yeah, basically.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't awesome for you at that moment, but like reflecting
sad.
back, yes. Let me validate you. It was super sad. I get it.
But, I got there. It was negative 20 degrees, so it really helps with that depression because it was really fucking cold. And I asked out one of my students, which was really awkward.
Wait, were you teaching English?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the plot thickens. I love it even more.
So I was just really lonely, and I just, wanted to go out with somebody, and I didn't really care who, but he didn't really speak English.
Was he attractive?
Yeah, he
Like,
was good enough looking.
was he like Henry Cavill? Cavill? No, not
I
that.
don't know who that is. Is that Spider-Man?
Superman.
The Superman.
Okay.
Girl,
I gotta see a picture later.
So,
I will. Here, I'll pull it up. For
okay,
you.
so you asked him out, and then what happened?
Well, I asked him out, and I don't know if he really understood what I was asking. So we ended up going on a snowboarding trip with his friends, and nothing happened really. And it was actually very challenging to snowboard because I'm from Florida, so I had never done that before. And it was a really bad date, I guess you could call it a date.
It was a friend hang.
Yeah.
So like if I was like in class.
Oh,
and
my
then
word,
Carl,
y'all.
Carl was to ask me out on a date, and I'm just minding my own business.
Hey, Zorric. You look very interesting.
Hey, teacher.
You're doing great in class.
Why, thank you. I try so hard.
I can tell you get an A for effort. I'd like to reward you with a snowboarding trip.
I would love it. Let's go. And that's how it would sound, right?
That's basically how it
seriously,
went, yeah.
Yeah. That's how. Okay. So any second dates?
No second dates with that guy. I barely made it down the mountain, so I'm lucky I'm alive, honestly.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh no.
Nice.
But you have a beautiful story to tell now, and you can like
Yeah.
laugh about it.
Absolutely.
You know, and now you're wonderfully married,
I am, yes.
and your husband's cool.
He's so cool.
So
Yeah.
it worked out.
And he's really good at skiing, ironically.
Has he taught you? Have you gone skiing with your husband?
I have, and it was horrible. I'm terrible. He's amazing.
Still awful.
Nothing has
One to
changed.
talk.
One day. One day.
All right, Carl, do you have anything? Or Krystal, you guys have anything?
Ooh, yeah. I want to
Yeah.
hear about dating stories.
I've got, well, this is just the most unique way I've wound up dating someone was there was a band in the town I was living in New Orleans. And they were named the Fake Carls. And
Fake Carls.
this other girl I was hanging out, she like saw the sticker in a bar and grabbed it and gave it to me. And so then I looked him up. I'm like, this is great. I'm gonna have to check him out. And then found their Facebook, and they had some caption contest on Facebook about, oh, get the best caption, and then we'll give you a free T-shirt and a free ticket to our show. I was like, all right, I'm gonna win this because I'm Carl. I'm the real Carl.
What's it spelled with a the way that you spell yours?
Oh yeah, with a C, the right way, the correct way, correct with a C.
There's wine flowing, guys. By the way, you guys hear all. You hear
Sorry.
Go ahead, Carl.
I wasn't
left
joking
my
when I
caption
screamed
on
wine.
this picture of something.
What was the caption? Was it like I'm the real Carl, basically?
I don't remember, but since it was Facebook, they saw that my name was Carl, and they're like, "All right, we've got a winner."
He's got to.
And then I met the lead singer of this band, and she was pretty cute, and so I don't know. We exchanged numbers at the show and dated for a little bit.
Nice.
It was good.
How was the actual first date?
Yes.
Curious to know about that.
Did she know your name?
Nice one, Steven.
She was familiar with me. The first date was okay. It was all right. It was the second date. It went really well. First date was all right. We grabbed a couple drinks and I left. I was like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It wasn't like a knock it out of the park date.
Yeah.
But it was all right.
So the second date is where you got in her pants, is what you're saying.
Oh
I don't kiss and tell.
There was
I don't
a
know what
chorus
you're
from
talking
Krystal and me
about.
right now.
It went wow.
shit! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Drink, girl, drink.
All right. So Krystal, you got anything from
Yes.
UTD,
Oh,
University
God.
of Texas Dallas? Any like sorority stories? Weird or odd ways people asked you guys out or you out.
I love
It could
the
have been a group
drama
date.
so
I don't know,
much.
you know.
Oh. Well, the weirdest way that I've asked someone
Oh.
out.
Oh. She's a 3.
Game
She's a 3.
changer.
She's a 3.
I am a 3 and I don't ask guys out.
Okay, so I asked someone to prom, and then just as friends, but I liked him. But
But you were like secretly hoping that something would happen at the end of the night.
right.
So it was innocent, wink, wink.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a but.
And then after prom, I'm hanging out with him, and I'm like, "Oh, come to my car. Let's go listen to this new Peter, Bjorn, and John album." We go to my car, and we're listening to the album, and I'm like, "Hey."
Did he grab your hand or did he make a move or?
No. I was just like, "Do you want to go out on a date?" Probably something like that. I blocked most of it out of my memory. He's like, "Oh no." Well, no, he didn't say, "Oh no." He was just like, "Well, you're going to college, and that would be really hard." And
You know what? He's dead to us. Forget that guy. I hate him
Yes.
already. He's ridiculous.
But Peter, Bjorn, and John. There was also a way that I asked someone out at UTD through Avett Brothers.
To the Abbott brothers, I love them.
The Avett Brothers. Or
Ooh.
Abbott.
Ooh.
Abbott, Avett.
If you're a real fan.
Up to you.
I always call them Abbott brothers.
Who is that?
Seth Abbott.
Okay.
It's amazing.
They're
It's
beautiful.
amazing.
They're really good.
I drove in frickin' ice for them.
Oh.
It
Worth
was
it.
legit. My love for them.
What's your favorite song?
Oh my gosh, Murder in the City.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
January Wedding is mine.
Ooh, I love that one so much too. Oh my gosh, I love them.
Okay, so what happened?
Which one?
Nothing happened. So that's it. So
Nothing happens in either of them. We don't go out. But we went to prom together. It was cute.
okay, that's fun.
You know what? A for effort though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She tried. She put herself out there, and
was
even though she
scary.
was like discouraged the first time, she did it again. Like that takes props, girl. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Steven, anything to add to these stories or?
Well, I don't know if I have any like immediate recent dating stories, but I have been
Steven, you're
wondering-
going last. Like you have this whole time to think about stuff. Like number one, like how dare you? Second of all, like how dare you?
To be honest though, I've been thinking a lot about how you like the logistics of asking someone out on Instagram. Like, how do you make that? Like, how did you find the person on Instagram? Like, how does it?
She's
like,
hot.
just
Oh my gosh, Zorric, I'm about to throw
Carl
a
knows
pin at you.
so you like searched hot on Instagram?
Hashtag hot.
Hashtag
Okay.
hot. Hashtag MILF, I don't know. I'm just
Oh
joking.
my gosh. how
Steven,
dare
it
you.
usually happens just, start following
Oh,
someone
you're
who's
married. You don't
hot.
know.
And then
He's like, I only follow hot women on Insta.
Shots fired.
excuse me, I recently watched a documentary on dating.
Tell us more.
Well, if you start following someone hot on Instagram, you like some of their photos, then after 3 days, they'll DM you.
However, Zorric and I have covered.
happen.
No, it doesn't happen. Because Zorric and I have covered an article about like sometimes like we as humans just go out of our league and it doesn't work out for us because we like okay. So I find myself.
25%.
I think I'm really pretty. However, like I know I can realistically say if I go after Chase Crawford or Henry Cavill, they're gonna be like, who is this little person? Stop. So like part of me has like reality hits, and I don't think that some of us realize that.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to reach, but I think it's just like a job. Like
I think
I'm looking for
for-
a job, like a higher salary. I'm looking for a hotter person.
And
Why
I think
not?
that for guys, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And
Correct
I think
her.
that part of it
Girl.
is it's the thrill of the hunt. It's part of the chase. You guys like to chase what you can't have because it makes the prize when you do get it that much sweeter.
No, that's not it at all. It's
That's crap, Carl.
That was a classic.
Well, and aren't there like economic kind of like studies that say like guys like when they apply for a job, they apply for a job that they're actually not qualified for. They reach a little bit higher. So it's not just like you're dating; it's like what you do like professionally that you reach.
it's a lifestyle.
You Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just
I
be
might.
ambition?
It is ambition. However, like there also like there's that piece that we lack is the reality piece, and I think that like the millennials are kind of the last generation that are like we're struggling with it, and then I think the generations after us like are just completely gonna lose it. Where it's like because we give out trophies for participation. No, there's winners and losers. Some of us win and some of us lose. We just because you participate doesn't mean you get a trophy.
That's not
crap.
our fault. That's the baby boomers' fault for giving us the trophy.
Yeah.
Gosh, I gotta
I'm not, and I'm not denying that. And I think that like our generation can remedy that, and I think that we are with our kids. And again, like maybe you're that generation that got trophies for participation, and maybe that's where you're a little bit more salty, and that's okay. It's about like realizing like this is the crap that happened to me. This is what society told me. How can I react differently to this? So if we're being told like participation's what matters, no, that's crap. It's not. It's about winning and losing. Deal with it.
That's all Emma wanted to say.
I love winning.
Okay.
That's
If I
the
lose,
three in
it's
you.
fine. Yeah, if I lose, it's fine.
It's not fine.
It is fine after like a bottle of wine.
Wine makes it fine.
So I know that because Kelsey's super competitive. When
I
we
also
ever-
hate to
love it.
lose.
we hate
Yes.
losing, and we lost in our. I didn't want to talk about it because it's.
Let's not bring it up.
Yeah. But so
Was that the
November's-
time I saw the wrong show?
Yeah, that was the
Oh, my
time. You
bad.
should have voted for us, and we could have won. But
I had a group of like 6 people with me. We went to the wrong
we
show.
could have won. We could have won.
Doesn't matter. It's all rigged.
Okay, so
I tried.
So it's almost Thanksgiving. I know there's something going on, right, Kelsey?
Oh yeah.
And
What's
so,
going on?
well, it's like Friendsgiving, right?
Yeah.
So-
We're Friendsgiving, I'm the married one, so basically like mom and dad hosting Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's
All the
cute. You
kids are
guys
gonna
hang
come home from
out.
college, and
Yeah.
we're just gonna feed them. It's great.
I'm
So
gonna do my laundry.
Of course.
so this next question, I'll start with Steven. So Friendsgiving. So what do you think about someone bringing a date to Kelsey's special event, which is
Ew.
Friendsgiving? Because
Like maybe this is the first date, maybe it's
Yeah.
the second date. You're not exclusive. You're just trying to figure out like if you want to be in a relationship with this person.
we'll talk about the How I Met Your Mother episode.
Okay, so in How I Met Your Mother, Lily calls Ted out, and I have a friend that does this to me too. And so what Ted does is that anytime it's a special event, he brings whomever like he wants to date to the event, right? And then of course like you don't want to exclude this person, except that I would actually be the one asking them to take the picture of everyone else, to like so like she's part of the picture, and then this is the memory, and it's like who is this
Name
person?
that bitch.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he can't. And
Yeah.
like there was one on the episode we were watching. It was like strawberry.
So Steven, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think, okay, like if it's a wedding, like I get upset when people bring like unimportant people to a wedding because they're going to be in all the photos. And to me, Friendsgiving is like right on the line. Like,
Thank you.
like it's on the line. It's important. We take a lot of photos at our Friendsgiving. So if you did bring like a anonymous picture,
Yes.
that'd just be weird, right? But yeah, so don't do that, guys.
No, I have a friend that does this to me quite frequently. They ask if they can bring like people that they're dating to like my events, and I always tell them no. I don't know who this friend is, but
Why are
this
you
friend is
staring at
real.
me?
I'm not staring at you.
I'll just chime in and say, at my wedding, one of the groomsmen asked me about an hour before I walked down the aisle if he could bring
No.
a Tinder date to the wedding. So I'm pretty chill, and I was like, what does she do? And he's like, she's a nurse. And I was like, ooh, sounds pretty good. Sounds like you're totally going to get some. I know 3 people aren't going to show up last minute. So yeah, she can be Kelly McDonald. And
That's an
she
actress.
was
That's a famous actress.
also my friend who didn't go to my wedding.
Is she Irish? Is your friend Irish?
You know, probably. I'm Irish. So
No, like she legit Irish accent at the moment.
Oh, no.
Okay, then we're not talking about the same person.
I would know if she was an actress.
That's
I
very
think.
nice of you, because I would have killed him.
And you
I
know,
would have
it worked
heard him.
out. Actually, there was a competitive spot for 2 Kelly McDonalds that showed up at the last minute. It got interesting.
I
Oh
want to
my
know from
gosh.
you, Krystal, if someone in your bridal, like upcoming bridal party did that, how would you handle it?
If they tried to bring a date at the last
If I
minute.
brought a Tinder date, I was like, Krystal, it's
Can I
just
bring
so
a
hot.
Yeah.
Come on.
Are you part of the bridal party?
I am. That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna carry the flowers?
If you
would
want me
say-
to.
Well, the first instinct would be no.
Thank you.
Okay.
No. I don't know. I'm not a very open person. It's hard for me. So part of me would be uncomfortable with just some random person Tinder that you're not comfortable with knowing.
Gotcha.
But I also want you to be happy, so I don't know. For me, plus ones are very much if I know them very well and like them, then yes, come. If I'm hosting like a party type of thing. And then if I know that they'll get along with other people, that's really important to me because I get scared when I'm hosting things is everyone going to get along? If it's just some new person that people don't know, they might throw off the whole vibe of everything, and that makes me uncomfortable.
But what if it was like your best friend? Like your best friend was like,
First
hey.
of all, your best friend shouldn't be doing that crap to you. They should have known better. They should have planned ahead.
If it's my best friend and it's someone new, I'm really excited and I want them to come so I can meet them.
At your
So-
wedding.
If it's at my wedding and it's my bridesmaid, then I would still want them to because I want them to have the best time. And if they're having a good time, I will also have a good time. If it's someone that's not necessarily my bridesmaid and I don't know them that well and they bring someone random, that's no. That's just,
Huh.
I don't know.
That's very thoughtful of you, Krystal.
But the pictures.
I appreciate it. I know, right? That's exactly where my mind is going.
See,
That's very thoughtful
I'm
of you.
ruthless about pictures. If
Okay.
someone random tries to get in my photos, I'm going to kick them out.
Oh, nice. I like that a lot. Like, you're going to be like, all right, I'll allow it, and I'm going to also set this boundary.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
They can be there, but there are boundaries. And if they're in my photos,
I will burn them.
But I feel like Carl has a different perspective. Like
Carl.
totally different.
please tell.
Anyone can bring anyone.
See?
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
peacemaker.
God.
I'm about
Peacemaker.
facilitating all of my friends
He's a
getting
nine.
laid
He's a
with
nine.
random
Oh my
Tinder
gosh.
dates. I'm all about that.
That answer just gave me a headache.
So I think it depends. I think it just depends on like me or Kelsey, because I think Kelsey was cool with it, but I think since you're saying Krystal's very maybe she's gonna say no basically.
Yeah.
with Krystal.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it depends on the time that you're asked too. Like, now, like leading up to the time, I would have been like, no, that's weird. I don't want that to happen. But the day of, you're just like, whatever. This is my day and my wedding, and I don't care. I'm about to eat some really good food that I picked out, hang out with all my best friends, and listen to an amazing band.
See, for me, it's the opposite. The longer that they ask ahead, the more I'm like, oh, that's respectful. You're really trying to ask and be thoughtful instead of at the last minute, you're just springing it on me. That's true. That's a good point.
So, Kelsey, when did your husband meet your parents? Like, when did he, and then when is it appropriate, you think?
Oh gosh. Well,
Can I just add that her husband is here in the room with us, and he is like giggling uncontrollably in the corner, and I'm loving every minute of it. I just turned around and he's giggling.
so my husband Alex met my parents before we were dating.
What?
It was the second time I had met him.
I wish y'all could see his face right now, y'all. It's beautiful.
The backstory, I lived with his sister in college, and we were really good friends. I never met her brother, knew she had a brother, but it was kind of like this weird kind of enigma that I didn't really care about. Like, cool, you have a brother. What do I care?
All right, his name's Alex.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I don't even think I knew his name.
Oh. Just brother.
Brother. He's a guy, you're related.
And he
Cool.
became like a permanent enigma, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, her and I were moving in together, and their grandfather passed away, and so he was coming to pick her up. That was the first time we met, and I thought, he's cute, but that's her brother, and that would be totally weird. So get that thought out of your head.
You're like, ew.
Ew.
Then the next time, they were sad, so they wanted to come to my parents' house and kind of just hang out with me because I'm comforting or something. And Alex walks in the house, and he's really just like beelines to my dad, and they're talking all day. And I'm like,
Alex is like, that was the game plan the whole time. I knew what I was doing.
it was so weird. I was like, to this day, he tells me that was our first date.
Okay.
I dated your dad before I dated you.
So yours was like accidental, but what would you recommend somebody to do?
Honestly, that happened by accident, but it was sort of the perfect storm of an experience because my last boyfriend before Alex, my parents hated him. Like, he was not a good guy. There were so many red flags, and the more they told me they didn't like him, the more I wanted to go out with him because, you always want to do.
Yes, everything the opposite of what your parents tell you or what your friends tell you.
Exactly. So this situation happened almost perfectly because my parents already liked him, but they didn't disclose it to me. And so we started going out, and then now we have a great relationship, and I couldn't imagine it better.
Nice. Okay.
Can we give them an applause?
We can, if we can find an applause.
We'll
That's
just
better.
do
That's
it.
better.
Woo!
So Carl, when is it appropriate? So I know you're dating somebody. Like, when should that happen? Like,
When should they meet your parents?
Yeah. When should your woman meet your parents?
I want y'all to see
Or hypothetically,
Crystal's and Kelsey's face right now.
idea.
She should have already.
We just started holding hands. We're only 3 months in. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Like-
This is like slow dating.
Yeah.
Holding hands in public?
No, it's
We're
just in
not even
private.
that far. That's 6 months. And then eventually we're going to slow dance. And that's going to be, that'll be like when we have talks about meeting parents.
Right after Footloose lets them.
But I don't know. I think a lot of it depends on logistics, right? Because I've always...
Your parents are here.
Yeah, that's
True.
That's the thing. My parents are here. But what I would say, like, until very recently, I've always lived very far apart from my parents.
Okay.
So, it wasn't like a thing that could happen right away.
Yeah.
But
So
now.
what if she was like, hey, do you want to meet my parents this weekend? Like, this weekend.
If she said that,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Would you feel pressured at that
Yeah,
point to
that's my point.
reciprocate?
No,
No.
not necessarily, no.
So then I think Carl's into her because I've been put in that situation too, where like, oh, let's meet my parents, and I'm like, and I just don't ever meet the parents. So
So you avoid the parents.
I avoid her.
So is your not wanting to meet the parents based on her?
It was based
or-
on her, yeah. I didn't see a future. Maybe it was too early too. Maybe it was like a couple
Right.
dates in or something.
Because you don't do it on the first week. Like, don't be
Yeah.
like, meet my
No.
parents in the first week. That's
Yeah.
no. You're creepy at that point.
Like
whether
knowingly,
you're a girl
not
or
like in
male.
Kelsey's
Yeah.
situation, but knowingly you should
Female
not do it.
or male, like you're creepy at that point. Like, don't be a creeper.
Yeah. So, Carl, what do you recommend? Do you, it just when it feels right, or
Yeah, like when you're comfortable with it and you've dated them and you feel like you've vetted them almost, where
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I feel comfortable bringing them into the family and like the whole family's gonna be like, oh, all right, good choice, Carl. But yeah.
gotcha?
So, because I mean, it's a big step. Like, let's talk about it because it's true.
It's huge. You want to know that they can hang. And you don't need to
Exactly.
be by their
Uh-huh.
side.
Which is why I'm really like scared to anytime to like always introduce anyone that I'm dating. Like, I'll tell my mom about it, and then I might tell my dad. But my sister is like the first buffer point, because if my sister gives the approval, I'm like, okay, I have the approval of one person. I can get the approval of the rest. Like,
Yeah.
I come from a very like traditional Hispanic family. Like, no, I worry because the criticism is real.
Yeah, I feel like Krystal lives with her boyfriend, but I don't think her boyfriend has met her parents.
Oh no.
What?
No.
They've met-
Oh, you just
Yeah,
made that up.
yeah.
Okay, you made that up. I was like, oh my gosh, Krystal.
Okay, so my boyfriend met my parents before we were dating because I was dating someone.
Oh,
A trend.
drama. Tell us the drama.
Well, I was dating someone else, and
Drama.
drama. And so I was going away to Switzerland for the summer, and I was having a going away party at my parents' house, and I invited my current boyfriend to my house.
Oh.
And so he met my parents then, and I met his parents then because I went to like me and my best friend went swimming at his pool, and I met his parents before we were dating. So we did all of that before dating.
But
That's like a first date.
yeah, that
Yeah.
is. That is. Yeah, but does that put more pressure on you since like your parents figured out you guys were dating, and I know like they knew the guy? Did it put more pressure on you or not?
Not at all. It put
No.
less pressure,
Yeah.
you could say. Because, I mean, my mom asked me after that first event when she met him, she's like, you like him.
Ooh, she knew it.
She
She
knew.
called
You had
it.
another boyfriend?
Ooh. I wonder if she was secretly like rooting for you to like break up with that
Oh,
boyfriend.
she hated the first boyfriend.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
he's
was
not
like,
like
it's
him.
gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. So, Steven, when do you think is the right time to meet someone's parents?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. It really depends on the parents, right? Because like my mom would get like super attached, right? Like she
Yeah.
might get like more attached to me. So I feel like maybe 6 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is that about right? Like,
No, I'm there with you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel
Yeah.
like my parents want a grandkid like yesterday.
Oh my
And
god.
so probably Emma feels the same way, but our parents are pressuring us to get married. And I feel like if they meet her right away and it like doesn't work out, then it's just, I feel like I'm letting my parents down more than anything.
Yes. Because anytime that I have brought someone that I've been dating over, and then it's over, my mom's like, "Where is he?" And I'm like, "Mom, it didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? What happened?" And I'm just like, I like can't rehash this with you right now because I just can't emotionally take it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then don't tell me
yeah.
that you're ready to be a grandma because like I can't take that crap either.
Yeah. So, Steven, in 6 months, have you guys held hands yet or kissed?
Wait, I thought, are you dating? Because I thought you said you were
No,
single.
this is
I'm
hypothetical.
pretty
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, did I just call him out because I love calling people out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not like with my parents there, but like.
So you're gonna be like arm length distance when your parents
Right,
are around on the
right, right.
couch.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. Like
Yeah.
opposite ends of the couch, like closest.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Cool.
parent talk has made me drink, but yeah.
They've definitely been holding hands at my Friendsgiving for
All right, Emma.
Love it.
Do you have a question for Kelsey specifically? I think you do.
Do I?
Yeah, I think you have a question that Kelsey needs to answer that's super serious.
It is super serious.
Like, it's so serious. Like,
Oh,
this is Save the World serious.
So we're gonna play a game right now, Kelsey.
All right.
So we're gonna play Bang, Marry, and Kill.
Fuck, marry, kill. Come on.
Bang,
Come on.
Marry, and Kill.
kill. Okay, you got it.
I'm gonna give you two options. I'm gonna give you either the Harry Potter version or the Parks and Rec version. Which one would
Parks
you like?
and Rec all day.
right. So, bang, marry, and kill. Ron Swanson, Leslie Knope, Tom Haverford. Mm-hmm.
Thinking. She's thinking. Very.
Aren't you giving her any intense, anxiety-provoking music? Why aren't you doing that?
Excuse me, Emma.
Can you give me something sexy, Zorric?
in
No,
Alright.
give her anxiety-provoking music.
I got it. I got the answer.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'd totally fuck Ron Swanson.
I'd
I'd marry Leslie Knope.
Beautiful.
And I'd kill Tom and take all his shit.
That's a pretty solid choice.
Gotcha. I think Steven wants to answer this question too.
Oh, really?
The Parks and Rec. I have a different version.
Just with random.
Just with like with the group.
Let's
No,
do a
I'm
mix
joking.
up. Let's do a mix up. Okay.
April Ludgate.
Yeah, let's mix it up.
Mix it up.
All right.
Okay. I want to say one name. No, go ahead.
All right. I'm just gonna pick the first three people that are like on the list. I had like 4 options. I had 4 categories.
Okay.
Like I planned this for you guys.
Right.
Sorry,
right.
you're like throwing a wrench at me, and I don't appreciate it right now. All
Okay.
right. I'm just gonna go off the first people, so don't be
Okay.
upset with me, Steven.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll give you the real one.
I need some anxiety music, probably.
Yeah, give him some anxiety-provoking music
Ask
later.
a question
All right.
first.
Bang, marry, or kill.
Okay.
Jason
Fuck.
Momoa, Ron Weasley, or WWE wrestler The Undertaker.
Can we have like a hot chick in here too?
No, not you. You ruined it for me. You
Okay.
ruined it.
This is really bad, but who is Jason Momoa?
Do you watch Game of Thrones, Steven? If you say no, I'm gonna throw wine at you.
I do. I guess that's
Khal Drogo.
Oh, Khal
Yeah.
Drogo.
Oh my word.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Who was the Harry Potter one?
Okay, I'm gonna repeat them
Yeah,
again.
please repeat it with
Please
music. Yeah.
listen.
Okay.
Jason Momoa, aka Khal Drogo,
Yeah.
Ron Weasley,
Yeah.
or WWE wrestler The Undertaker.
Oh my God. I feel like you gotta fuck Khal Drogo, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the right answer. Khaleesi did it. And she knows what's up. I probably secondly, you gotta marry the twin, right? I mean, you're
No,
in this
Ron
great-
Weasley is
Oh, Ron.
Harry
Okay,
Potter's
well, still,
best friend.
I still choose it.
Okay.
I still choose Ron Weasley. I want to be in that family. The Weasleys are great. And wrestling sucks. It's like really violent. And so that guy can die, right?
Okay.
Final answer.
What is right?
I think that's right. That was good. I think we
Poor
should give,
Steven.
let's give,
Steven, go ahead and take a little drink there.
let's
Yeah,
give
yeah,
Carl
yeah.
the same
I'm on it,
thing.
I'm on
Can
it.
we give Carl the same question?
So you want the same
The
question
same
I just
people.
asked
The same
Steven?
people, yeah.
Different
All
people,
right,
though,
Carl.
right? Different people.
Different
No,
people,
same.
different
Same.
questions.
It's different people.
It's hard to keep
All
them
right,
in
Carl.
mind.
Jason Momoa, aka Khal Drogo. Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, or WWE wrestler The Undertaker.
Carl would fuck the Undertaker for sure.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a wrestler. He's a wrestler. I'll fuck him.
And I'll give you my wrestling one for you after this one.
And I'll marry Momoa. I'll be.
He's a sexy man.
I'll
So
be.
you're gonna kill Ron Weasley?
Yeah, why not? He didn't add too much. He didn't add too much to the story. I didn't like it.
You'll get a king with Drogo. Like you're
That's
gonna have
true.
an army behind
I'm gonna
you.
be ruler of all the realms. So I'll be good.
Is that your final answer?
No, I still want more people. I want different people.
I love how the music cut off.
Okay, let's give Carl another one. Okay, fine.
All right, so let me give you the wrestling one, Carl, since you like wrestling. I have a wrestling one.
I don't want a wrestling one. I want a female one. That's what I want. I want a real, like, are they female wrestlers? Is it China and...
Uh-oh.
You can't make your own.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me give Krystal hers, and then
Yeah.
I'll think of yours. Okay, I promise. Because I had funny ones, so you guys are ruining this for me. Thank you.
I'm glad I went first.
All right.
Okay.
Emma, what do you have for Krystal?
Krystal,
Uh-huh.
how about Harry Potter.
Okay.
Bang, marry, kill.
Go.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, or Harry Potter?
Too bad Hagrid wasn't in the mix. He's a hottie.
Oh, you're so married.
I would bang Harry Potter, marry Ron Weasley, kill Hermione.
Whoa! Drama. Oh my gosh. I love it. All right.
What do you have for?
I got yours, Carl, now.
Okay.
Okay, pick 3. 3 girls.
All right, we're ready.
Bang, marry, or kill.
Okay.
Wonder Woman, Black Widow,
Ooh.
Black Widow, or Catwoman.
We talking like comic book version or movie version?
We can do.
Let's do
We can do the movie
Let's do
version.
movie version. All right. It's definitely. All right, it's definitely bang Black Widow,
Okay.
marry Wonder Woman,
Okay.
and kill Catwoman just
'Kay.
because there's no other
Beautiful.
option.
I like that. I like that answer.
Beautiful.
Only Zorric is clapping right now.
My other one, I'm just gonna put it out there because I want the listeners to like do it on their own. I had Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Ben Affleck as crappy Batman, and Henry Cavill as beautiful Superman.
All hot guys.
Yes.
You know what I would do?
What would you do,
I
Zorric?
would. I would fuck all of them.
Oh, a group hang.
Yes, that's what I would do.
Cool.
That's what I'd call Squishin' Impossible.
So, Emma.
Drink, everyone. Yes. I
So,
love how you guys.
I'm
do
throwing
the
this out to the
commands.
group. Just
Yeah.
one question, and we'll go into what our listeners want to know
Yeah.
about exes. But can a friend date your ex?
No.
No.
Ooh,
Why?
that was a quick no,
Why?
Krystal.
Personally. This has happened before.
Oh!
This
What?
is a firm no.
Give us the drama
Why?
behind it.
Well, this happened in high school, so I. So, the guy that I dated, the second guy that I dated in high school, he dated one of my close friends senior year, and asked her to prom, and it was this really cute thing, and it was horrible, and
It was a really cute thing, but it was
So-
horrible.
it was horrible to me.
So hypothetically, if you slept with him and your friend sleeps with him, is that weird?
Yes,
Super weird, right?
I thought it was holding hands. Publicly.
I don't know. There's a code of rules between best friends, and
Oh, it's your best friend.
well, between close friends
Okay.
and best friends, you don't date people that you have dated. It makes everything very wrong. I don't know. I
Does
don't like
Kelsey agree with this, or do you not agree?
Oh, that exasperated sigh was beautiful.
You know, I think it depends on the level of the friendship. So in college, everyone was just like doing everything with everyone. And I don't know if that was really a problem or not. Now, maybe it would be awkward, but then I have to say that I was sort of part of that. So
I actually have a friend, a close friend, who dated this guy in college, and one of her best friends like started dating him afterwards, and like they were engaged and now they're married. So you know like I think it also depends on, like, I'm with Krystal, I wouldn't be okay with it. I'd be like, all right, bye girl, like we're done. So I respect you and my friend too, because I think that like that's beautiful that you guys are able to do that. Like, I'm petty and I can't do that.
ultimately, the relationships I don't think, well, worked out for your friend, but definitely didn't work out for me or any of the people I knew who were kind of like meddling in past affairs, if you
Yeah.
will. And, you know, it just gets really messy in that way.
Yeah.
But I think there's something weird and attractive about you see two people in a relationship and you sort of like idolize the way that they are. And then when they break up, you think that that person, whether it's the guy or the girl, depending on your gender, is like interesting and like attractive in this different way, and like you desire them. And then it's only once you engage within a relationship with them that you realize like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be.
I want to hear from the boys really quickly, and then we'll move on to like the article. So like, boys, if the girl that you were dating started dating your close or best friend, how would you two react?
It depends
Steven just cringed. Go ahead, Carl.
I think it depends a lot on, like she said, the level of friendship and the level of like ex that they were. So I think there's different tiers of exes where there's some exes are like, yeah,
Tiers
whatever.
of exes. Okay.
You know, you can date her. I don't really care. Whatever. We had a thing once, but then there's like the ex that can pull at your heartstrings, and then that one's like, no, dude, no, don't mess with me like that.
Yeah.
But
Steven.
well, like we never did, but I think a lot of people at the Dallas Comedy House, like that we did improv with, like they kind of seem to like date around a little bit, but it seems kind of okay because they're kind of like all friends first as opposed to like serious relationships. But serious relationships, like if you're in a serious relationship with someone and you end up starting to like that person dates someone else, like, you know, I would just like want to be away, right? Like it's just hurtful, right? Like that happens sometimes. So it depends on the degree and maybe even the community, I think too.
Yeah, I think sometimes guys, you know, they think with their heads, okay, penises, whatever, and sometimes they don't think
Hands.
about their friends, right?
Pardon?
They don't think about their friends sometimes, you know, which kind of sucks.
No, and it kind of goes to what Kelsey's saying too. I think that even like you know, sometimes you kind of like if you idolize the relationship, like that's what I want. You kind of think like, well, if they had this, like then we can have this too.
Yeah, yeah. So Steven, do you keep track of exes, like social media?
Be honest.
A little bit. Yeah,
Do you?
I totally do. I mean, that's hard. I mean, I continue to follow them on like Facebook and things like that, but the Instagram is like tough because like you don't need to, I feel like when you're friends with someone on Facebook, it's like to establish that you're still friends, right? But if you follow them on Instagram, it's like you want to see their updates. So I guess my kind of personal line is like disconnect on Instagram, but like stay
There you
together on Facebook. Maybe
So,
even mute on Facebook.
I'm
but-
friends on Facebook, but I unfollow them on Facebook.
Yeah,
I
that
so
makes
I don't
sense too.
see
Same
them.
thing, same thing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Delete everything.
Ooh, really?
Oh,
I
that-
do.
that's a perspective.
I blocked
Gone.
my ex on purpose because I didn't want to see any of his.
But that's from
emotionally,
a
yeah.
marriage perspective, right? When you're married, you should, I think, delete everything.
I personally think so. I think it's just easier to don't look, don't think about it, and like it's in the past, and like it very clearly will stay in the past, especially like if you've taken that next step with someone else. So
I realize I have to give a disclaimer. My answer might be slightly marred. So, my current boyfriend is friends with my ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
They were in the same fraternity.
Drama.
That is.
They are still friends and are on fantasy football teams together. And all that stuff. So, like, no amount of unfollowing will remove me from this person's life.
Krystal, do they ever talk about you?
Oh my god.
I don't know. They don't tell me.
Ooh, I wonder if they're having like secret clubs about Krystal.
They call it fantasy football.
I know that.
Exchanging tips.
All right, Emma. So
Yes.
we're talking about exes because what?
Because, you know, a lot of times, kind of like what you guys have touched on, like we follow our exes on Facebook, we like follow them on Instagram, and there's always the question of like, what if, right? There's always those times when we are weak because we've been drinking too much alcohol, or because we just went to our friend's wedding and we saw love and it was beautiful, and we're like, I need that. So we fall weak and we fall into like contacting the ex.
Okay.
Right.
So what are we reading right now?
So we are reading this article by Jenna Birch, and it's called "You've Already Broken Up Once. Here's How to Know If the Relationship Can Really Work." And so it came about because like Justin Bieber the Biebs, broke up with Selena Gomez like for the umpteenth time, and then got back with Haley Baldwin, and now they are engaged after like breaking up for a year ago. So it's kind of like all these other celebrities like have broken up and then come back together. You know, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth, like, you can call me. We can have a good time together too, you know? Who else? Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. I didn't know they had broken up.
How about Kelsey and her husband? Did you guys break up and get back together?
We did not break up.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh my gosh,
But
perfect.
we had a moment in the beginning where an ex actually was trying to resurface in my
Oh.
life. So I can relate to the article.
Did you know this?
All right, so what does it say, Emma?
You know, so it's basically kind of like, is this something that like exclusive to like Hollywood couples, or is this something that happens like just, you know, to like us like non-famous people? And I think it's a little bit of both. I think that because like celebrities are in the public eye, we do focus on them a little bit more. And I also think like us as being like regular people, like we do this, like we go back to our exes every once in a while because we're thinking like, what if this time it works? What if this one thing that I change miraculously makes this beautiful thing happen?
Yeah, I've been in therapy for like 10 years, and she got me to realize that you can't change a person. Like, if it didn't work the first time, for me, this is my perspective. If it didn't work the first time, it's not going to work again. So, therapist, respond.
And I know a couple who I looked up to them as a couple, and they let me know that there was a time where they did divorce. They divorced, so they separated and then divorced, and then got remarried again because they realized they couldn't live without each other. Because they like, part of them was like, we are our soulmates. And I think that is possible. I think you can find your soulmate. You can find the person that you are meant to be with. However, it doesn't always mean that like the ex that you like you think you got away like is the one for you. I think there are times when we just idolize this so much, like, can it happen, that like we forget like there's other things happening in the future.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point about the one. So Carl, like, when do you know when it's the one? like the
His
one.
eyes.
Like, how do you know that? Like, they always say the one, you know, that person, but how do you freaking know that?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if I even believe in like the one.
Oh my gosh, I hate that answer so much.
What? Okay. Go ahead, Carl.
I just think there might be like the right one for you at this time. Like, I don't believe in like the one out of all the people in the world. Like, you know, proximity plays more of a thing than anything in who you wind up with.
Yeah.
And so like the chances of the one being right where you live, I don't know, pretty slim to none.
Yeah, and so what's interesting too in the article, it says that 30 to 45% of the people in this report that they're talking about they're in a current relationship or a recent relationship where it's on and off again. So I've been in relationships like that too, where we're dating, then we've stopped dating and we're dating again. So it's very confusing for some people.
And the other piece that they do mention is that like this study that was published in 2013 reported that like almost half of young people that were 17-24 were breaking up and then getting back with their exes. So I think that for me, part of this is like they're not millennials, right? They're that younger generation. It's that FOMO. It's like that fear of missing out. Like, what if this is the right person and I'm screwing this up? And it's like, all right, like, go self-explore, like go get a hobby, like learn how to cook, like do something, and then like figure it. Like don't change yourself to like fit into this relationship.
I don't think it's FOMO.
What is?
What do you think it is?
For me, I think it's idealizing a relationship. You look back at things with nostalgia and you have a really hard time seeing the things that were going wrong because that's admitting your own self problems. And so if you see those things that were bad in the relationship, that's also admitting things that are bad with you in a way, and you can't see that. That's hard to admit. So for me, going back with an ex can be not being true with yourself on what's going on with you.
So it's more like hiding like those flaws about yourself.
Yes. It's not about FOMO.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it's not about FOMO sometimes. So also the article says that a study showed in 2017 that roughly half of daters feel extremely ambivalent about their breakups. Kelsey, what do you think about that? Like half of the people think they just, we broke up, it's okay.
That is very interesting to me. So, I mean, I was with a guy for 4 years and he broke up with me by moving to another country. So I wasn't exactly just about that. I was certainly very hurt, but I think it was very telling about all of the aspects of the relationship that were not going well. I mean, there were many things that I was trying to pretend were not wrong with the relationship and just hoping that, I mean, at that point, like I had sunk 4 years into it. So it's like, if I could just make this thing work, like, let's just pull it through to the finish line. I mean,
because you're investing your time, right? Like your time is an investment. And if you like lose on that investment, it's like, what was the point of this?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like sunk costs, right?
Sunk costs,
For
yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Right.
So I didn't want to give it up, but I think sometimes you can't see all of the things that are wrong with a bad relationship until you get into a good relationship. And then suddenly it becomes painfully obvious, like everything that was wrong with the other one. And you're like, whoa, what's wrong with me?
Yeah. The other piece that she talks about in this article is that like more couples are breaking up and making up. And so that part of it is, it's the paradox of choice. And so like I always talk about this and I love this so much. Like it's, you know, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like we're able to self-actualize. They call it, like they also choose to use the words like the paradox of choice, is that we are afforded more choices. Right, in life. And so like we can pick from a higher selection. We have apps now, we have the internet, we are able to ask our friends if we really wanted to. So like we can just swipe, and like we have that choice. It's in our hands, it's literally in the palm of our hands. And so like it's you know, so we have that choice that we can choose from people, but like are we actually doing anything about it? No, because we tend to go back to what we know. And I think for me it's more about like the devil that you know versus the one that you don't know. Yeah.
And lots of choices. We all were in, or most of us, some of us were in New York, and a friend of ours is just kind of, you know, always on dates. And there's but he's still, I think his success is the same in Dallas as well. I think the problem with like men, I think that we are always looking for, again, we're always trying to trade up. It sounds really bad. But I think
it sounds bad, and I have to say, like, it's not just men. Like, women do it too.
Yeah.
Like, don't like let's take ownership of like both genders doing that crap.
Hashtag
Agreed.
2018, right?
Yeah,
Of course.
sure. Ladies have choices too, guys.
Yeah. And so the reason why that people are going back to their exes is because they're comfortable.
You're
right?
comfortable, and again, kind of like what both Krystal and Kelsey have said, that you like remember all the great things that have happened. You also remember like that intimacy, that emotional intimacy. You remember like being vulnerable with this person, and it's safe.
Yeah, because think about it. The first time you have sex with somebody, you're freaking vulnerable. It's like your clothes are off.
Hold hands.
Hold hands. Your clothes are off, and it's just like being vulnerable. And so you've already passed that with your ex, and you can easily go back into a relationship and slide back into that. And it's back to status quo again.
Right. And safe doesn't always mean it's right.
Yeah. Safe is like, I know that like my ex farts at night. So like I'm cool with that, and I've adjusted to that because I just had to throw that out there. Or she hates like these certain TV shows. We have a schedule going on, and you know I watch my show. She watches.
I know one
shows.
of her exes hated Downton Abbey, and I hated her for it.
She called it Downtown Abbey.
I know, she was an idiot. She's an idiot.
Deal breaker.
Yeah. And so, I mean, Steven, have you ever been back with your ex before? I mean, or did you just kind of leave it?
You know, I
Kelsey's
haven't been
face.
back with an ex before, but I think kind of what you're talking about, what the article talks about, with the paradox of choice, it kind of goes both ways, right? Like in the sense of, you know, you think you have all these options like with Tinder and stuff like that, right? But you also kind of feel like the option to get back, like you could swipe and connect again. Like it just seems like you have all these options, and maybe in like a small town environment, like you didn't have those kind of options. And also, if you broke up for real, because like everyone knew about it. It wasn't a big city. You just like disconnected. So
yeah,
For sure.
I think what some people are saying here is like the grass is not always greener. Maybe.
No, it's not. We just like believe that it is greener somewhere.
Yeah. it just depends, right?
And yeah, it does depend. It really does. And I mean, and I'm not saying that this can't work out, because I've seen it happen before, where like you break up. This couple got divorced and they got back together again. And so far they have been able to be very successful. They have like 30 plus years of being successful. And it's not that it's not possible. It's just a lot of times, like, again, it's in the bell curve, right? The most of us are going to be average. There's going to be a few of us that excel or don't excel. Right. Most of us are average. So again, it goes back to that fairy tale. Like, I'm going to meet him. No, we're average. It's going to happen when it happens. We can't romanticize it. And the same thing with our exes. Like, if we broke up with them, we broke up with them for a reason. It's not like it's not going to work.
Yeah. And I think also because we follow our exes on Instagram, it's
and
sort of
social
a
media
reminder of, what was. Maybe we had a great vacation in New York or something, and it just reminds
Facebook pissed me off all the time. Like, I think that's a reason why I took a break from it, because I was like, okay, I'm not friends with these people, and anytime it would remind me of stuff, I'd be like, delete, because I'm not friends with them. I don't need the reminder again. Like, we're not friends for a reason. Don't bring it up anymore, Facebook.
That's why I think you should delete them, because
See?
people post
I
on
have
social
deleted
media
them.
just the highlights of their life, right? So
Yes.
do you want to look back on the highlights of your ex's life?
Or just
like,
unfollow them. Like,
Yeah.
then you can
Yes,
kind
but
of
like
have
you
your
still have
cake and eat it
pictures that you
too.
posted with them,
from
right?
your pictures,
From my
yeah.
pictures, and so it was my pictures that were. I'm not friends with them anymore, but my pictures were showing up with memories,
That's
like from
horrible.
like 5-7 years ago, and it's like I thought it
Facebook
cleaned
should
everything.
Understand that you don't want to see that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would have to
Rude.
like go delete it myself. I would like sweep my Facebook. Now I'm just rid of it. All right, the other one.
Yes.
Next one.
Okay, so the case for dating or even marrying an ex, I feel like this is going to be me soon. But if you date
I
around,
won't let you. I'm
if you
just
date
putting
around-
it out there. I won't let you.
and if you
I
date
will
around,
proclaim at the wedding, or whenever the priest is like, does anyone blah, blah, blah? I'll be like, yes, I do. He's only marrying her because she's the ex.
oh my gosh.
She says
that what it's-
downtown Abbey.
Okay, so I see this point here. It's saying that, like, if you break up with somebody and you go out and play the field and figure out really what you want, it could be your ex. You could have been just an idiot and, like, maybe I was on a hot streak on Tinder or Bumble or whatever it was. And you know what? Now I'm ready because it's been a year, and let's get back together. So it says here that people do it because it's convenient sometimes, though. But she's saying that you should not do it because it's convenient. You should do it because that person.
Let's take the Notebook as an example here.
Uh-huh.
Like Noah, was still in love with Allie for all those years.
Mm-hmm.
They broke up, they got back together, and they got married. And it wasn't because of anything else. It was because the love was true and genuine.
Gotcha. Yeah, of course. And so she also goes on to talk about cases or steps to take whenever you go
Yes.
back. So we'll just briefly
Yes, and a lot of
Yeah.
this, I'm gonna be honest and upfront right now. A lot of this is gonna have to be done in therapy, right?
Yeah.
Couples counseling, because you can't do this on your own. You really can't fix it on your own. You need someone that's gonna be neutral and is gonna guide you on this.
Yeah,
So make sure that the cause of the breakup is no longer an issue, which is a big one. So let's say you caught the other person doing something that was just totally against your values. You have to work to repair that so that you don't bring it up anymore. Or you're at the point where you're like, all right, this happened. I want to be with you. This is what it's going to take for me to be with you.
I wrote down fix your shit before you get back together because you might have problems and your
Right.
partner would
I went back to values because a lot of times that's what we do in therapy. We do a lot of values work. Are these values matching? No, they're not. All right, then you got to do something about it.
What else do we have?
Clear this closet of all skeletons.
Okay, so I would say talk through everything that happened between when you guys were together and you guys are coming back. So
And again, this is something that
Yeah.
you need to do in therapy because let's say one of the people were someone was in an extramarital affair, you cannot repair this on your own. Because we if I'm doing marital work and I'm repairing that relationship after someone had a marital affair, I'm going to ask what is the purpose of you knowing what happened outside of the relationship? What is the actual purpose? If you're going to use this to be vindictive, we don't need to get into it. If you're going to use this to repair, then we will get into it. But once we talk about it, it's one and done. We're not going to hash it over
you shouldn't-
anymore.
You shouldn't. And the last two, what are they briefly?
Be open about your fears. It's perfectly okay for you to be vulnerable and share the concerns about what you have in the relationship. Like, I am worried that you're going to cheat again. Okay, yes. How can we change this relationship to feel safe and secure? What do I need to do? What do you need to do? Because let me tell you, like, extramarital affairs is not a one-way street. Both people are part of the issue.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. And the last one.
Take your time. When you get back together with each other, don't rush it. Don't say, like, we got back together. We're back to where we were when we broke up. No, you're starting over. Court each other. I think that is so important. And even if you are in, like, a relationship and you've been in a relationship for a long time, like, it's important to court each other. Like, flirt with each other. Buy each other flowers. Like, be, like, romantic. Be, like, cute again.
Foreplay?
Pretend like, yes, do
Okay.
foreplay. If that's what your value, foreplay all you want.
Okay. I love foreplay.
Good for you, Zorric.
So what we wanted to tell the audience here is we just wanted to kind of briefly go through this and just say that it's okay. You can go back to your ex. It's fine.
There's no judgment here.
There's no
Unless
judgment.
he's a loser or she's a loser, then I'll judge you.
And there are some red flags, and Emma always talks about if go to therapy.
Yep, go to therapy.
If you have questions about it. So
if you need help finding a therapist, you're free to reach out to me and I'll help you find one.
Gotcha. So Kelsey, from a married person's perspective about exes, like what should the audience do? Like, what's your takeaway here?
You know, if I were to recommend anything, it would be, if you are feeling conflicted about telling the people in your life, your friends or your family, that you're going to get back with an ex, the truth is that you probably shouldn't, because
Amen.
If something happened that was so damaging and you're trying to pretend like it didn't happen or to just see the best in the relationship and your family and friends disagree with that choice, then it's probably not the best move to make, and they probably know something better for you. I've definitely been there, and I can say that now, being in the relationship that I am in, it's a lot better. But I've definitely been in bad relationships, and we don't make the best choices. We think that, hey, I'll just try it again and maybe it'll be different this time. We always want to believe that people will change, but they usually don't.
I agree. People don't change.
I disagree.
Well,
but that's something we can talk about later.
Carl, from someone who's dating, what's your takeaway about exes here? Like, what should our audience do? Maybe they're contemplating getting back with an ex. Like,
so I think I've been back to that well a couple times.
Yeah.
And learned from it, but I think when I've gone back to it, you have to learn from that breakup.
Yeah.
And learn, okay, so we didn't communicate. We didn't have the conversations that we needed to have to clear everything up. And then we got back together, and then we still didn't communicate, so it didn't work. Like, you need to learn from whatever was part of the problem and then enact the solution if you're going to try it again. You can't just do the same thing over and over again. You got to change something.
Isn't that the definition of insanity?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But the hand holding was really great. So insane.
Were their hands, like, sweaty enough for you or not sweaty enough?
They were very wet hands.
Gross. Go Rose.
Krystal, what do you have about exes?
Give me a question.
Just like your final thoughts.
Yeah, what did you think about the article? Like, our discussion in general?
Yeah.
I feel like the article was good. I feel like the most important part about this article is that you can't just get back with an ex and think that it's going to be all roses and easy. It's not. You're going to have those feelings of rejection of first breaking up, and you have to deal with those. I got back with an ex. It was really hard.
Why did you go back?
Because I was really sad after getting broken up with.
Okay.
And we wanted to be back together, but we both knew that it wouldn't be able to last, and we got back together just to enjoy the time that we had left before college ended. And so it was a bittersweet type thing. But if you're getting back with an ex, you have to deal with the initial rejection feelings, and that's very hard to do.
Gotcha. And then so it how long did it last? Was it just a quick?
That was a 3 or 4 month. It lasted 3 or 4 months, and then we broke up because he was going to graduate school in New York.
So-
I was not.
So it wasn't because Carl, he was saying that there were issues. You guys didn't really have issues. It was just that you guys were in.
It was like the timing.
Timing.
And
It
location.
was timing. We
Yeah.
wanted to be together, but we couldn't because he wanted to go somewhere else, and he didn't want to be in a distance relationship. And then I got with my current boyfriend, and then around the same time when I got with my current boyfriend, he was like, "Oh no, I'm very lonely up in here in New York. I want to be with you again. So get back again."
But boy, bye.
It
Timing
didn't
is
work.
everything.
Yep.
Steven, so tell us about what your thoughts are about the article and your
Yeah,
recommendations to
yeah.
the audience.
Well, I've honestly still got mixed feelings about the idea of getting back with an ex, but I think that, one of the things is if you're thinking about it and like kind of as you're processing the ex, it's like really important to talk to like that third party. Like you were saying, like whether that's friends, whether it's a therapist. I was kind of like fist bumping when Emma was talking earlier. I think it's just really important to like process it. And general rule though, I think you should like, for the most part, like try to hold hands with someone else for a while. Just try to like palate cleanse if you can. But the processing I think is really important.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever been back with an ex before?
I've definitely like probably, just to be totally honest, like pined after an ex before, but not actually back with. Yeah.
They're,
I don't know what
they're,
y'all are
they're
doing.
giving faces to Steven.
Be really honest.
Well,
It's a podcast after all.
They can't see your
No,
face.
no,
They
okay,
just know
okay.
your name.
I guess, okay, like, I mean, but like officially back, I think it's the definition, right? Okay, I guess I've like gone on a date with an ex,
Take
but
a deep
not
breath
like,
right now. Just
not
take a little
like-
deep breath right now.
I need like
Take
a deep
little,
something.
Yeah,
but
take a little deep drink. There we go. Just relax. Don't look at them. Look at me or look at Zorric,
okay.
and the comfort will come.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at you, but
Okay, perfect.
no, I think that no. Sorry, they're asking if I've gotten back with an ex. I guess
Yeah.
I've gone on a date or two with an ex, but not like we've gotten successfully back together. Not like definitely not like a divorce and that kind of thing. Like we never like restarted the relationship, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting like real legal on me, and I don't like it. Yeah.
Confirmed.
Okay, so I think we've talked about everything.
We
We've talked about
have.
exes. Like I learned a lot of things about everyone here. Like for example, Krystal will ask anyone out to prom.
Beautiful. I was like envisioning like Laguna Beach, the OC, when they ask each other out to prom.
And they like
Yeah.
buy each other Alexis.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Kelsey is such a late bloomer, but no, she's not. No, she's not. And then Carl, he loves Jason Momoa.
Momoa, you idiot.
Jason Manure.
And Steven does things in 6-month increments, apparently. Holding hands and
Which
other
I just
things.
realized that you guys like are talking about holding hands and like that's y'all's like sex.
Oh my god.
So I hate y'all so much for like this past like hour and almost 30 minutes. So I never want to talk to any of you again.
So Emma, what's your takeaway here?
My takeaway is we are in the norm. Most of us are average, normal people. We're not outliers. Don't expect this beautiful, significant thing to happen. It's not going to happen. Just go back to normalcy.
In what? Like what?
In everything. We're not above average and crap. Like, I'm not above average and crap. Like, stop it. Like, I'm talking in terms of relationships.
Oh, okay.
Like, we're not above average in relationships. Like, if you broke up, it's probably because of a reason.
Yeah.
Like, these people who are getting back together into relationships, it's an outlier. It's above average. It's not the average. It's not the rule.
So you're saying that if you go back with somebody, it's just going to be the same thing, basically.
Most likely.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Gotcha.
Typically. In the
Gotcha.
bell curve, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Guys, thanks. This was fun.
Thank you so much, guys, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
We loved it. Yeah.
This is a good time. And I think, Emma, you're going to take us away.
Yes, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave us an email at hello@datepodcast.com. You can also follow us on @datepodcast on Instagram and Twitter. Everyone say bye.
Bye.